What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Sheila suspicious of Luna death. Is Lee involved? Sheila looked like a hero recently when she helped save Steffi from Luna's wrath. Luna tried to shoot Steffi because she wouldn't let her spend time with Finn. The battle escalated when Luna was shot by Liam and eventually died. Or did she? Sheila transforms into a self-proclaimed detective as she develops suspicions regarding Luna's death. The evil former nurse wants the hospital to produce Luna's body. The staff at the hospital cannot do that for some reason. Because no one knows what happened to her granddaughter's body, Sheila becomes suspicious. She starts asking questions about what happened when Luna was taken to recovery. When the detective in training asks to see her granddaughter's body, the staff becomes nervous. She wants to know where the death certificate is, but they have no answers for her. Everyone appears nervous every time she asks a question about Luna. The silence of the staff raises suspicions about the villain. Sheila's suspicions mount when she goes to the morgue and doesn't find Luna's body. Everyone has amnesia whenever Sheila asks about Luna's body. Lee becomes nervous and refuses to give Sheila the information she wants. Is Lee involved in the cover-up? Sheila requests access to the medical records, but none are available. Lee was the last person to see Luna alive, so it's possible that she's doing the same thing again. As fans may remember, Lee let people think Finn was dead while she was nursing him back to health. Could history be repeating itself? Luna's grandmother becomes more suspicious when a hospital staff member remembers an appointment to get out of talking to her. With all the paperwork disappearing, things start adding up to Sheila. It makes her believe that her granddaughter didn't die after all. Is Lee hiding Luna in the hospital? Does Lee have a secret wing in the hospital? In case you missed it, Lee suspiciously asked Finn how he felt about Luna's death. She wanted him to be honest about his feelings. Finn didn't say how he felt, but Lee knew he was heartbroken. Is she keeping Luna alive so Finn could have his daughter in his life? Everyone knows that Sheila will stop at nothing to get the answers she's looking for. She's not above sneaking into restricted areas to look for information. Sheila plans to pressure orderlies until they tell her what she wants to know. The psychotic grandmother plans to follow all paper trails that could lead to Lee's involvement in Luna's disappearance. Sheila will soon have access to the evidence she needs to locate her granddaughter. If Lee's responsible for Luna's body disappearing, she might want to cover her tracks since Sheila is on the case. Once the truth is out, it will cause a ripple effect that will destroy Finn's family. Sheila's hope, Finn investigates, Taylor's suggestion. The bold and the beautiful Sheila Carter Sharp get some hope. John Finn Finnegan becomes even more suspicious of Grace Buckingham. Taylor Hayes makes a suggestion to Nick Marone about Brooke Logan. Nick Marone's proposition. Let's start off with Nick, who is trying to make Brooke his own. The seaman has tried romancing and wooing Brooke ever since coming back to Los Angeles. Nick's only condition is that Ridge Forrester be completely out of the picture. That's an issue for Brooke, who is still pining over him despite being a grandmother and professional career woman. Taylor Hayes' suggestion. Fans watched in Thursday's episode as Nick went to pay Taylor a visit. After learning about the Tridge engagement, he's hopeful that Brooke and Ridge won't reunite. However, he would like some assurances from Taylor, as well as an alliance. Taylor knows that this is risky and it could backfire on her. However, Taylor's insecurity and panic over Bridge could have her making a deal. Taylor also makes a suggestion to Nick, which could be to propose. John Finnegan's investigation. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for tomorrow's episode reveal that Finn will continue to be suspicious about Liam's instant miracle. Finn tried to question Grace, but she dismissed him. Grace also refuses to answer Bridget Forrester's questions. Finn won't be able to get it out of his head, and will be fixated on solving the mystery. Sheila Carter Sharp's hope. There is also Steffi, who just admitted to everyone that Liam wasn't the only hero that day. The brunette tells her loved ones that Sheila also played a part in the rescue. Steffi gives her that credit, but then says he hopes the good path will continue. Steffi isn't convinced that Sheila is truly reformed, but does credit her with helping to save her life that day. This could lead to Finn and Sheila bonding over missing Luna Nozawa. However, fans suspect that Luna is secretly being kept alive by Lee Finnegan. So, we should get some clues in the next week or so about what Lee has been hiding from everyone. Over the course of her career, Sheila Carter Sharp had been referred to as dangerous, manipulative, and irrational, but in recent times, she began to envision herself as a detective. The very thought that she might be on the verge of redemption following her heroic effort to save Steffi Forrester from Luna Nozawa's violent outburst seemed almost too good to be true. Yet something didn't sit right with her. Luna's death, or supposed death, felt off. Sheila's instincts, sharpened by years of scheming and surviving, were flaring red with suspicion. Sheila was bothered by everything that transpired after the chaotic confrontation in which she had observed Liam Spencer fire the gun that struck Luna. The hospital's behavior was strange. Despite the tragic news being delivered, no one seemed able or willing to show Luna's body. Sheila requested to see her granddaughter's remains, to say goodbye, to verify what had been done. However, the staff stalled, avoided, and searched for justifications. There was no death certificate, no confirmation, no tangible proof that Luna had actually died. Sheila, never one to sit back and accept vague answers, launched her own investigation. She began scouring the hallways of the hospital, interrogating members of the staff, requesting documentation, and even sneaking into restricted areas. Her first stop, the morgue. Empty. Luna absent. No sign that she had ever been there. The cold metal drawers stood sealed, and the attendants gave her confused glances before scurrying away with hurried excuses and fake appointments. Every time she uttered Luna's name, people got twitchy. Then, a breakthrough or a new wall to tear down. Lee Finnegan, Luna's aunt and a skilled doctor with a past of her own, became noticeably uncomfortable every time Luna's name came up. Lee refused to answer direct questions. Sheila noticed her shifty eyes, the tight tone in her voice, the way she deflected and redirected conversations. Lee had been the last person to see Luna alive. Could she be hiding something? Sheila recalled how Lee had initially misled everyone into thinking her own son Finn had passed away before subsequently announcing that she had been secretly nursing him back to health. Was history repeating itself? Could Lee be doing the same with Luna? Was she hiding Luna in some secret wing of the hospital? The more Sheila thought about it, the more the pieces seemed to fit. Lee had the medical knowledge and resources to carry out such a cover-up, with a body that had not been found, no records, and a history of lying. Sheila's questions only deepened when she overheard Lee asking Finn how he really felt about Luna's death. It wasn't just a surface-level query. It sounded like someone fishing for an emotional truth to justify a decision. Could Lee be keeping Luna alive, tucked away until the time was right to bring her back? For Finn's sake. For the family's future? Sheila's obsession grew with every minute. She began examining digital files, hacking into hospital logs, following staff members during their breaks, and cornering janitors and interns in hallways. The more she pressed, the more the answers vanished. Paperwork had mysteriously disappeared. Dates had been scrubbed. Surveillance footage was, accidentally, erased. Sheila's gut told her that this was no accident, it was a cover-up. And the deeper she dug, the more Lee's name kept surfacing. In the meantime, Sheila wasn't the only one looking for the truth. John Finn Finnegan, still troubled by Liam's sudden and miraculous recovery from a supposedly inoperable brain tumor, was conducting his own quiet investigation. Grace Buckingham's secret experimental procedure didn't sit right with him. Neither did her evasiveness when asked simple medical questions. Bridget Forrester had tried to get answers as well, but Grace was slippery. Something smelled like fraud, and Finn was determined to get to the bottom of it. The tension was mounting on all sides. Taylor Hayes, ever the voice of complicated reason, had her own angle in this sprawling web. She suggested that Nick Marone think about proposing to Brooke Logan because he had recently returned with a renewed interest in her. Nick, emboldened by Ridge Forrester's engagement to Taylor, saw this as a golden opportunity. He wanted Brooke, but only if Ridge was truly out of the picture. He acted as a result of Taylor's suggestion. But back in the medical world, the suspense continued to build. Sheila had begun to suspect that her daughter-in-law's praise was more than just a passing compliment. Steffi had told everyone that Sheila had helped save her, and while it didn't erase the past, it was a small piece of hope. Sheila clung to that hope, but only briefly, because Luna was still missing. Not officially, but spiritually. Something told Sheila that her granddaughter was still alive. And if that was true, then someone had gone to great lengths to fake her death. The repercussions were enormous. For Finn, this could mean rediscovering a part of his life he thought he'd lost. Steffi may interpret it as betrayal. For Lee, it could spell ruin. And for Sheila, it could be both redemption and revenge in one sweet revelation. Desperate for proof, Sheila cornered a young nurse late one night, pressuring her with questions. The nurse trembled but dropped a clue. She had seen Lee entering the west wing of the hospital late at night, multiple times, even when she wasn't on duty. That wing had been closed for months due to renovations. Or so everyone said. It was now a crime scene waiting to be solved. Sheila knew it, and she would uncover it. Her subsequent actions were drastic. She began tailing Lee after hours, watching her car, monitoring her movements. Her instincts had never failed her before. If Luna was alive, Sheila would find her, and if Lee was behind the deception, she would expose her, no matter the cost. What began as grief had transformed into a full-blown investigation. Sheila, armed with nothing but questions and rage, was ready to crack the case. And when she did, nothing in Los Angeles, or the Forrester family, would ever be the same again.